and I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want.
Running free. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Check right, check 43.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, Got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt, they score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
He can't hang.
On play action, it's Rodgers. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 16 yards, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rodgers now on first down. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here on the second one.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 yards on the play, first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Rodgers completes it to Miller. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now it's Rodgers. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Henry Anderson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The kick by Gold is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You're talking about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time, and that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over first and 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than down. Touchdown, Chicago! Devontae Freeman, his second touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I got you. I got you.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, first down. Penny, the first down carry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Penny. Fights through, and now a crease. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rashad Penny. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. To throw again on second down. Newton eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
That's it. 20.
Now Newton on first down. Open man is Trey Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. On the draw, this will be Freeman. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Newton. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Tracy Walker, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partners. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
The dump off good for 8 there on first down. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground again here. So we have reached halftime. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 29, Newton. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Newton on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
On first down, it's Newton. Flushed out right. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
On second down, it's Freeman, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This is Freeman on first and 10. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's second and 2. On second and a couple. Newton flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the con. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Devontae Freeman. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
What we got?
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here comes Grant on the return. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On first down, Freeman. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now a first down throw for Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Newton. Touchdown, Bears. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Rosas now to add the PAT. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Cam able to take it himself in for the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Newton to throw, escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check.
Now Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Newton. He'll find Metcalf. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players' spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
58. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On third down, Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
This is complete to Michael Thomas. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Look, 80. 33. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Hey, check my feet.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. This one into the hands of Metcalf. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Rosas to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the pass.
Throwing again. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now The third down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Returnable for Grant. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Ready. Go. Mike check 33. Now watch run. Ready.
Newton's going to throw it. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Chicago, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it